Oh, yeah, baby. 10 wins. Everyone feeling the right amount of cheesy right now. Feeling real good. Might get some hot and spicy Cheez-Its later to really celebrate on this New Year's Eve. Texas gets the win versus Michigan. Really fun game. Well, entertaining game for the first three, and then Texas Arch Manning just went sicko mode and kind of shut it down. It was absolutely awesome. Before we talk about that, I want to see you on Inside Texas, 50% off right now for the Ultimate Fan Bundle. You're going to get Inside Texas, On 3, and Rivals all together. We would love to see you over there. Hey, man, 10 wins always feels better than 9 wins. And it got chippy late, too. It was kind of flat, and then just one play in the third quarter, the whole vibe shifted. And that was a lot of fun, man. Just enjoyable. What'd you guys think?
3 words.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Arch effing Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, he decided he wanted to win the game. And once we got into a game script where Bryce Underwood had to win the game, he couldn't do it, right? He wilted. And then our defense actually played. Ty Anthony Smith started playing, started balling out, and a pretty rough defensive effort turned out pretty good late. And ultimately, Arch Manning went and won the game. And then, Nick, do we have a viable running back?
Oh, my God. We might have a running back 1B or maybe a running back 2 or 3. You know, hey, man, Christian Clark played well today. I mean, vision, power, patience. He had it all today, man. Very explosive player. 20 carries, about 105 yards. So he made a touchdown. He made it look easy today, man. I was very pleased with Christian Clark today, man.
Yeah, he ended up with 5.3 yards per carry. And at one point, he was at 6.6. A lot of good outside runs, good speed. Better than I thought we would do for sure, man.
Well, before this game, if you'd said Christian Clark rushing yards over under 50.5, I would have said under.
Yeah.
So I feel good about this.
That's what was frustrating this season, because if you watch him in high school, he's super fun. Yeah. And he moves like Bijan, and he's from Arizona, so it was always a funny coincidence. So I was bummed to not see that this season. So I'm glad he got some shine there, and we needed it before Arch was able to take over. So first things first, not as cheesy as the refs. Let's talk about that. I'm so glad we won. I'm so glad we won, dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to
would have had to hear about. All I would have heard about is how the refs robbed us for, I don't know, probably till next season. So that's why I'm glad. Those refs were super annoying. But I'm not a big ref guy, and so I'm just glad we won, so I don't have to hear it the whole time. But especially because Michigan had 2 touchdowns that you can debate. Yeah, so that would have been brutal. But
yeah, man. Hey. Plus the commentators too. They were like so pro Michigan. They were so pro Michigan today. It was crazy, man. So it is what it is, man. We got the dub, man. That's all that matters.
And then Arch took over, and then they were like, "That's Arch Manning." And then is he going to be the Heisman number? I was like,
yeah, I mean,
and then y'all going to make fun of Texas fans if he doesn't do that, and it's like it's y'all that start that whole thing. So that was a super annoying. Arch is fast AF, boy. Dude, when he pulled that for 60, and he was hurt.
And he was hurt. He was hobbled, man.
He got hurt on that previous drive, and then he starts hobbling even at the end of the run. He did that versus A&M too. He was like, I'm tired of the penalties. I'm tired of the drops. We're going to go win the football game. And to have that X factor, man, you see it can make up for a lot. And so that was super enjoyable.
Someone says in the chat, Manning should have been player of the game. Who was player of the game?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, who else would have got player of the game?
He's like the only, maybe Ty Anthony Smith, maybe, but it has to be Manning.
Is someone just starting?
It's got to be Manning.
Festivities early?
I think somebody had a little bit too much to drink.
Yeah, maybe so.
Already.
If it was not Manning, I don't know.
What did we just watch? Yeah, he was. And if there weren't so many drops, his passing performance. What'd you say? What did it end up being, Paul? So Manning had 221 yards at 62%, but he'd be over clearly 300 if we just didn't have a case of the drops. Man.
Yeah, if we didn't have drops and probably one more touchdown too as well. I mean, Manning had a great game, man. Just to see the maturation process of Arch Manning from week 1, to week 13, it's just incredible. Those first 3 games, what we saw of him was like, this kid needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of work. And you've seen these last 6 or 7 games, man. You're just like, man, I don't know what he's done in the background, what he's done in the film room, but whatever he's done, keep doing it, man, because he's carried this team in his back like these last few weeks, man, and we definitely needed him, man. But, man, just shout out to the Manning family, man. They got this kid ready.
Amen. Yeah. And by the way, we had a number of receivers out during the game. I mean, he had to create, like he had to make this go. And we had multiple freshman receivers out there.
Yeah.
Some of whom really struggled early. Lockett obviously had a great grab late.
Yeah.
But boy, Arch really put the offense on his shoulders, as he frankly had for most of the year. But he's just seeing it. He's got a feel now. He got pressured hard.
Yes.
I mean, a lot.
That 4th and 2 was probably my favorite play because he just shrugs off a guy because he's so big, and just because that can end it right there.
Yep.
And so, yeah, he has a lot. And those pocket mobility, the ability to stand up. A little more accurate on the short stuff. Like the RPO, he's throwing like 1 billion miles per hour and stuff like that. If
touch.
Arch can get that piece, man,
it's a wrap.
It's because that's the one thing that you can be like, get better at. If he can get that down over the offseason, man, then yeah, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, I think he gets
Clark got it.
Clark was named the MVP. That's
crazy. I
mean,
he had a great game. But Arch, man, if anybody watched this game, if you have eyes and you watch this game, you just saw one kid put a team on his back in the second half and carried his team to a win. It's just it's crazy. They say
Scooter says Arch effing Manning floating solid baby. You three look gorgeous on that screen. I stay hot. How about them horns? Yeah, exactly. Everyone's in good spirits.
I don't think a modeling agent's going to sign any of us.
Yeah, we're here for our looks. Clearly,
hell no.
But,
I think the burnt orange is what makes.
Yeah, that's what it's got to be.
I think you're riding an Arch Manning high right now.
Yeah,
we appreciate you, man. Let me see. Do we have one receiver without a drop? I don't know. I was excited. Lockett. That touchdown.
Lockett did drop one, though. He dropped one.
No, I'm not talking about drop. I'm just saying it made me think of the receivers. And then Lockett on that touchdown. If you watch him in high school, he has incredible body control. He was making a ton of contested stuff in high school. Arch dropped a dime, but he just had solid hands. And so I'm excited to see Lockett in the future because he's a younger player we haven't got to see a bunch of. But downfield, I think he's going to be really special for us and give us that kind of piece that we're missing. And then Justin reported for Wingo that it was turf toe.
Ooh.
So that joint, which is a bummer because Wingo's not a guarantee to come back, so there conversations being had there. So you wanted Wingo to have a really big game because that give him more leverage and stuff like that, but you just don't know if that was the last time you saw Wingo, right? So you would just hope that he'd play a full game. That didn't go down. And then Mosley came out later. He went into the locker room early, came out with a boot. It didn't look like a knee thing, right? So if it's anything with the ankle or foot, you're going to be plenty fine, throughout being able to heal up. So as long as it's not a knee, I feel fine there. But
to set it in context, let's think about this game was a little bit uneven, right? And that's frustrating to watch. 6 starters out on defense. As the game progressed, 5 starters out on offense.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Mosley, Wisner obviously opted out. Wingo. Yep, more opted out. So, I mean, half of your starters weren't playing, and you took down a Michigan team that had a fuller roster than us. They were down some key guys as well, no doubt. Yeah. They needed Derek Moore and Jashawn Barham out there playing the edge because
they sure did.
They lost edge containment a lot, as much as almost we did, by the way. But we predicted that coming in, Connor. Remember our deep dive? We said, hey, just watch. We're gonna misfit some runs, and we're gonna really struggle on the edge fitting the run if Underwood keeps it because they're just inexperienced, and that's what happened, right? If both teams are full strength, I think Texas wins by 3 touchdowns. But
easy.
We were down half of our starters as the game played, and we still win by 2 touchdowns. I'll take it all day. Let's go.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, Dale. We own Michigan. Yeah, we're gonna see him again, right?
3-0, baby.
We'll see him in 2027. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 years.
If they don't cancel on us.
And what?
Or if we don't cancel on them.
What I liked about it is, all the arguments are like bowl games don't matter. Are they going to come out and don't care? The teams cared. And it took about until the third quarter when they started really clashing, but it did feel meaningful. It was like, oh, I want to win this. Like whatever that thing in the third quarter was, that kind of just switched the vibe.
Well, I saw 2 things. Maybe you guys tell me if you saw differently. One, Michigan started drilling the crap out of our dudes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like letting them know. So
Yep.
our guys were like, if you're not in a fight, you're now in a fight.
Yep.
And then 2, Underwood started jawing.
Mhm.
And that seemed to get everyone kind of excited and amped up. And then Arch showed up ready to play. And then he's like, I'm glad you guys caught up with me. Let's go win the game. Right.
Yeah.
Tied at halftime. And
Which it shouldn't have been.
shouldn't have been. I mean, Arch, he had 5 drops in the first half.
It was crazy. He had a touchdown dropped right there in the end zone, man. It was just like, come on.
That was tough. You got to finish that play.
And then we had like the missed snap, that went back 50 yards, right? And we had to end up punting the ball. Luckily Michigan missed a field goal at the end, but but still, we should have went up 7 points at the end of halftime. So
yeah,
Arch doesn't care about any of that. He was like, hey, you idiots are gonna play man. I'm gonna run straight through the middle. And if you play man again, I'm just gonna throw a touchdown to Lockett. Paul, would you read this comment aloud for everyone?
It was an unsalubrious game for us from a health perspective. That is true.
That is very true.
It was unsalubrious.
I remember reading your article. And I was like, all right, I need to highlight this.
It's the 18th century usage of the word.
I was gonna say, I was like,
I think I read that in a Churchill biography, and it always said
I was gonna say, when I read it, I was like, if the next sentence is about Alexander the Great, this is the most Paul Wadlington article.
You gotta try to link up a stupid sport with like great historical events.
Yeah, exactly. Texas is the most penalized team I've ever seen.
One of the most penalized in college football, Sandman. So you're correct.
This whole damn season has just been nothing but penalties, man. We can't get out our own way.
132nd out of 136, and I think with this performance,
we might
have done it.
Yeah, we got an extra game.
I think we might have cinched the championship.
When Arch took off on that 60-yarder the whole time, I was like,
no holding.
Yeah, the whole time, dude. He had to get to the 10 before I was like, oh, we're actually gonna score here. Is
our chat frozen? What's happening?
It's remarkable.
No, so what happens is like the YouTube one, actually refreshes, and those last 3 are like Twitter ones.
Yeah, the Twitter ones like stick at the bottom for whatever reason, but the YouTube ones.
That's irritating.
Yeah. It kind of got me too. I was like, what's going on here?
It started a couple days ago, and I don't know what it is. They'll fix it. But for all you guys that wonder how StreamYard's comments displayed us on the back end, the real interesting stuff you guys love. But yeah, you got to see all of Texas's warts that we knew were there all season.
Yes.
But you still got to have a good win. And that was a very Texas Longhorns win this year. Like, hey, we got you because we have better talent in some spots. We have Arch Manning. But you got to see, if I could show you one game this year to kind of this how Texas feels, it would be this Michigan game.
I will say one thing that presages well for the future. I like the play of our corners once they settled in.
Oh, yeah. Warren Roberson. Whew.
Roberson does not care.
I love it.
I mean, sometimes he doesn't care in a bad way, and sometimes it's a very good way.
Well,
sometimes it's a penalty on a kickoff.
Yeah,
he's much more enjoyable playing defense. On special teams, he's undisciplined. But when you put him on defense, like in the All-22, he plays really good, man. Like he can follow guys across the field.
Gonna love him.
So do I. Extremely well, dude.
And I feel good about what Kobe Black did once he settled in. I feel good about now Michigan's receivers, not great, but I just like seeing them run around under the spotlight there were no outs. It's not like, I got my 5 snaps, Malik Muhammad come in for me.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you're out here, win or lose. So you better start winning.
Well, and Michigan was actually throwing the ball this game too.
Effectively early and not so effectively late.
Yeah, but just like that's got to be his most attempts on the season, right? For Underwood.
Yeah, 42 attempts. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And you see why they wisely
didn't do it.
I was like, man, they've been protecting him all season. Be interesting to see him off the leash. 3 picks. So he's not ready. He has a special arm and he can move, but he's not ready for that level of football yet.
He's not a year.
Yeah, when Underwood started talking, that's what made it fun. That was kind of the moment. And then they started smacking each other, and there's just personal fouls. And when you win it, it's fun. It would be frustrating for Michigan. Every time they were cutting Arch on the sidelines, he was busted. And
I put it on my Twitter.
He's gonna have to apologize to his grandma again in the press.
Well, again, Arch profiles in a certain way from a distance.
Yep.
But the actual Arch is kind of MFer on the field.
Yeah,
I know.
I love it.
Like, I love it. I love that kind of guy.
But then he will in the press
When he's
game.
wearing his little frat boy shorts and his
Yeah.
polo. And,
I love it though.
And also, when you ask Joe fan, like, how big's Arch Manning, they'll be like 6 feet, 175. And then you
He's like-
see him and you're like, oh, he's a big old dude.
4'2", 35.
Yeah.
But it was funny. He gets really hyped during the games, and then he apologizes to his grandmother in the press conference every time. He's like, I should have been a little more controlled. Sark was getting after it at one point too. He had a lot of 4-letter words for the ref at one point. So
Those
it
calls
was just
are ridiculous, man.
It was kind of that
crazy calls.
It was kind of that game.
Here's the truth, man. If we'd lost and we could explain it away, these are all exhibitions now. They don't matter. It's still a helmet game. It's still on a big stage. I promise you the TV ratings for that game were huge.
Yeah.
Right?
Two big brands.
And it just feels better to win, man. I mean, it just feels better to win and to have some exciting stuff. And for Arch, like, it's now confirmed. Like, this wasn't, oh, yeah, A&M game. Wow, that was good. He's really coming around. Or Arkansas, he looked really good. It's here. Like,
yeah,
he's there. He's leveled up. It's going to continue. And now, here's the real thing about this game. That game showed us some weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Most we knew we had. Some, and it shored up a couple of things. Maybe now with Christian Clark, you're like, okay.
Maybe I only need one running back.
I'm two.
But I'm just trying to be a little optimistic.
If you beat out number 2, then you can have the spot.
That's right. But, but here's
true.
the deal.
That's true.
I mean, that was a clarifying game in some areas. And so now we know, all right, Arch is that guy. Let's go get the team around him. We can't waste him. We can't waste this year.
Yeah,
well,
we need bona fide wide
verified
receivers.
that the offensive line needs to get figured out.
Yes.
The coaching on the offensive line needs to get figured out.
Yeah, interior O-line needs to block a shit ton better.
So it's just, I hope Sark doesn't hitch his wagon to flood. I think that could be the death of him. And so it's just like, hey, man, make the hard decision here. And because, I'm getting mad in the group chat, but I'm like, because we can't do anything on 3rd and 1. And so I'm mad that we're having to do trick plays with Arch to get 4th and 1. People are like, calm down, man. Like, it's fun. I'm just like, it just drives me nuts.
We had like 3 3rd and 1s that we didn't convert.
Yeah. And then it continued throughout the game. And I'm just like, guys, we're a top 5 talent team. I'm not, Michigan are no slouches. We're playing a good team, but it's like, it wasn't just this game that I'm talking about. And so we know the offensive line is not getting it done in the run game, period. We know Sark can make some fun plays. We know Arch is the real deal. We know the wide receivers are dangerously tantalizing, that you can present the argument of if they take the next step, but ultimately you can't trust the unit right now. So get you a number 1. And then they went more 11 than I thought. We didn't see as much.
That's our identity now. I think we're going to alternate. And if we can shore up tight end, we'll go 12 and just go 12-11. Yeah, and we'll play matchup.
Was Townsend good the whole game? I don't remember.
Yeah, he played pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
Did you guys notice Filsame, good or bad?
I didn't notice him.
I didn't notice him making plays. I just noticed him coming down from, like, someone would get tackled in front of him and he would be there, kind of thing. But
Well, put it this way: every other time he was in games prior to this, I noticed him in a bad way.
Yeah, it's true.
That's improvement.
But shout out to number 4, man. I love me some Jelani McDonald, man. Boy, he's putting helmet on people today, man.
So we had this problem earlier in the first half where we were hitting dudes. We weren't wrapping up, though. We were smacking dudes. And most of the time it worked. But Jelani, was it a tight end? Jelani tried to, or a running back, Jelani hit him like he had been hitting the
and he bounced off and he came back around.
I was like, dude, you got to wrap up. You guys are doing the BJ Foster school of hitting.
That's the BJ Foster.
Launch yourself into somebody, but not wrap up. And I thought Ty Anthony Smith early struggled a little bit. He missed a couple key tackles. And then, man,
second
he makes
half
PFL. He gets a pressure right after. He had 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah, 2 picks today.
And so it's like Ty Anthony Smith really played a lot better as the game went on. And so shout out to him as well, because
he played extremely well.
We've got to get a guy to pair with him off the ball who's a dirty work guy, and then let Ty Anthony be the highlights guy.
Yeah.
Like, let's go get a Michigan linebacker and put him right next to Ty Anthony.
Bo Barnes had a hell of a play, dude, when he
Yes.
closed on Underwood, but it wasn't even the speed. The impressive part is Underwood turned around and he was able to stop on a plant foot and still get Underwood. That deceleration is just as important as acceleration, and I thought that was awesome to see how athletic Bo Barnes is too. So that's another one that I think Muschamp is going to enjoy. So there was a lot.
Team played physical today, man. They played extremely physical on defense today, which was very encouraging to see, especially from the secondary side of the house. You know,
well, when Michigan turned the heat up, Texas responded immediately and started hitting too, and that's just good to see that heart, right?
Yeah. Well, that's important because we've seen Texas teams of the past wilt.
Oh, yes, we have.
As the other team ramps up the intensity and gets more physical.
Yeah.
And not necessarily physically, sometimes just mentally. They start doing stupid stuff. Now, we had our characteristic penalties. But
yeah, how many penalties we have this game? We had a lot of penalties.
We had to have 10.
Easily. Let me tell you.
It ain't Texas football if we don't have 10 penalties.
We had 12 penalties for 103 yards today.
Hey, guys, I think we can win the title.
Yeah. And Michigan had 9.
They had 9 for 85.
We almost had 200 yards of penalties 95. In this game. It felt, but Michigan did get the calls in the close touchdowny moments, but it was pretty heavily penalized this entire game. But that's why I said this felt like a very Texas football game, like poorly coached, pretty much not well coached, but you got good players that do very cool things when you need them.
Hey, Homer.
I actually thought we made some good adjustments. Actually,
no, I mean poorly coached in that like your team's shooting themselves in the foot at all of these key moments. You know,
I just
also, man, look at the special teams. This is one of those games where special teams was pretty horrible today. Woo! You know, usually special teams were pretty damn good.
Michigan.
I mean, their kickoff returns freaking amazing.
Well, they got a new coach. They got a new coach
all year.
Yeah, well, they got a new coach. So Sharon Moore hired the new coach like 3 days before his incident.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so clearly they weren't prepared enough for him. Even though you can get tape on him, he was Ohio State and all that, but clearly they weren't fully aware of how because their special teams have been awful all year.
Yeah, but not today.
So this is their best game by a mile, and I think that's just chalked up to they got a new coordinator there, and we didn't have enough information on it apparently because. There was in the second half, they were starting at like R45.
40. Yeah. They were dicing this up. Yeah. Plus the fumble also, man, you know, like everything that could have went wrong on special teams went wrong today, you know, but look, we still got the W. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Niblet fumble. It was like, man, just all those kind of tough things. And he shouldn't even have taken that one out, but I can't. Niblet's literally won us multiple games, so I'm not gonna get mad at him there. But yeah, special teams is actually pretty rough. And we'll see. Shipley kicks kickoffs like he has a knee injury. I don't even notice that. He seeks the uprights when he kicks a field goal. It's like he's like trying to get as close as he can to the uprights there. But hey, for being down that many guys on defense, you still give up 27. But they came in with a game plan we probably weren't totally expecting. They spread it out way more and attacked more there. They adjusted well. For newer guys getting reps and younger guys getting reps, the defense at least they were hitting. Like I said, Roberson damn near knocked himself out hitting that tight end so hard. So, yeah, I just overall it was definitely once we got in the fourth, I enjoyed it a little bit more than the first.
Well, you know, they did come out the new interim OC who is now like several of those coaches that just coached that's their last day coaching at Michigan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the guy who was coaching them, the interim, he's sort of auditioning for other jobs. And he said, I'm going to open it up. And they opened it up. And I think it caught us wrong-footed early, but we settled in. I mean, Underwood was bad from the late third quarter on.
Mm-hmm.
When he started pushing, whenever he was like, now I'm going to show Texas what I'm about.
Felt like Marcel Reed against us in Austin, right? Where okay. And then late just sort of fell apart.
He crumbled
under the pressure.
Yeah.
So an Arch was the opposite.
Arch activated.
Like, give me more pressure.
Yeah. And I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was hobbled, man. I mean, for him to get that 6-yard run, kind of limping into the end zone too, because he kind of looked around like yard 15, and then he just kind of hobbled in those last 10 yards. I was like, hey, man, this dude's tough as nails, man. You gotta love Arch Manning, man.
I do, and we got to protect him better.
We got to protect him better, man.
We'll see, man.
And get him better weapons. Got to get him some better weapons.
He's one of those quarterbacks that, like, after the game, he can be like, "Yeah, my rib's broken," and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, he's not going to tell you that he's hurt because he was not about to leave that game.
Are the dogs and coyotes you can hear? Can you guys hear that on the audio? Are we good?
Yeah. What's that? I hear a couple.
Yeah, I have my screen door open upstairs, and there's a pack of coyotes out in the back of my house is all woods with a creek. Yeah. There's a pack of coyotes running around being coyotes, and my Akita is not liking it. And
your dogs are going to be fine because I've seen your Akita.
Well, that enthuses the doodles to think that they're part of the like show out, like like the real tough guy in the hood, and there's the guy who goes, "Yeah, what he said." That's what my doodles do.
Our average per rush overall was 7.1 against a good Michigan rushing defense. They're
when your quarterback drops 155 at 17 yards a carry, that'll help your average.
How did Arch not get the player of the game?
I'm glad that Clark got it, but that's just clearly not what happened.
Shout out to Clark though, man. He played his butt off today, but Arch had more yards rushing on less attempts, and threw in about 220 yards passing with a couple touchdowns too as well, while getting beat up the entire game. So, Arch definitely needed that, but hey man, shout out to the team.
Game box score has Carson Marshall with a TFL and a sack. I assume they mean Zena. Yeah, they're just making that's just the most made up standard name. If the police
I don't think that guy's on the team.
I was saying, I'm getting interrogated by the police. What's your name? It's like Carson Marshall.
My name is John Window.
Yeah.
Is that because you just were looking at a window, sir? No.
Well, I told you Chat GPT one time. I was doing something with Ryan Wingo, and it just kept calling him Ryan Wiggles.
Wiggles.
And then it calls our Evan Veith. It calls him Evan Beef.
I love Evan Beef.
So those are really good fake names you guys can use. I want to see what our third down conversions were because that was an interesting part of the game for Michigan.
We were 3 of 11 on third and 2 of 2 on fourth.
Yeah, that's what we
Michigan,
have.
Listen to this, guys. They were 4 of 17 on third down and 5 of 6 on fourth down.
So
yikes.
People were saying the spirit of PK lives on because on those 3rd and 17s, it's like, guys, they're going to take the short one and get to 4th and 5 or 4th and 2.
Yeah.
We still have not learned that lesson. We'll see with Muschamp. But it was funny in the game thread. They were like, PK lives because some of those looks were brutal, absolutely brutal. Anything? Nansen breaks out the 3 high safety defense.
I saw that earlier too. Yeah.
Yeah, like several times. And so I'm like, why?
Who did he bring in? It was 4. Who else was it? It was Phil Smee and who else?
Jelani.
Yeah.
Was Rebell out there or Jonah Williams?
It was Jordan Johnson Rebell because they even had him at like a middle linebacker or something in the game. Do you see that too?
Yeah,
they
put him up a dime, which Ian and I were laughing. We're like, why would you run a dime against Michigan?
Yeah.
They moved Jordan Johnson Rebell.
But the dime actually worked, like theoretically, because they did go heavy pass. But
once we got the game script flipped on them, and there was no doubt that he had to drop back and throw, it did not go well for them. I think that doubt of that running game and that sense of, hey, because it's hammered at them all week watching highlights. Hey, man, Michigan's got an explosive running game. Michigan's got an explosive running game. I think once that was taken off the table, our pass D looked a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Because, we didn't look great to start the game. Like, they were getting 4 and 5, and, like, our gaps weren't sound. We weren't meeting them early. But I thought the defense adjusted and kind of woke up. And I think the young guys need that level of reps too. But to be down to 2 scholarship running backs, I know we put Brad Spence out there too, so that works. But
scholarship linebackers, you mean?
Yeah, linebackers.
Scholarship linebackers. So I thought we did pretty solid there. I'm looking over. We averaged 10.5 yards per completion.
I bet.
Even with all of those drops.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, this is where box score is nonsense. The official box score that like they do for all the schools says Texas had 1 drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
even if you're kind, you got to say we had 4 or 5.
Easy.
Yeah, because I get it. Like the one with Livingston downfield, if you want to say it's not like if it's baseball, it's not an error because technically it was a hard play. Sure, but it's like
the old days when like certain shortstops wouldn't even try for the ball, so you wouldn't get an error.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can see when there's some things like that, but there's some of them that were just plum drops. I wasn't as mad at the Wingo one in the touchdown. I know people were, but he got smacked after he caught that. Now, would you like him to have held on to it? Yes, but it wasn't just like a pure drop to me. It's more of a PBU. And so, but there were some of them that are just plum straight up drops.
Yeah, because Livingstone had a crazy drop right prior to that Wingo drop, right? So Wingo dropped it in the end zone, but he got hit. And it was a play right prior to that. That's when Livingstone dropped the ball too as well. I mean, he was right there for a first down. He could have turned up for a touchdown probably. Wingo drops a touchdown, and then we had that bad snap, right?
That's the thing, man, is drops hurt in any context, but when they deprive you of a touchdown, when they deprive you of a first down, like that just is a killer.
Yep.
Like it's not a big deal if you throw a little swing pass and the running back is looking upfield and he drops it. It's 2nd and 10. I mean, not good. We would like 2nd and 6, right? But taking points off the board, brutal. Taking first downs away near the red zone, brutal. Like that. I mean, we could have had freaking 48, 50 points in this game if we'd executed a little better.
Yeah, it wouldn't even been close in the 4th. All right, before we keep going, guys, let's hear a quick word from Academy Sports and Outdoors. And believe me when I say quick.
Fast one.
Same-day delivery powered by DoorDash.
I'm not a liar.
You are lying.
Academy doesn't want to waste your time, guys. They want you to know that you can get it shipped to your house. It's all about saving you time. So artistically, they saved you time with the ad as well. Great people over at Academy. Any other big things that stuck out to you? You guys want to? You can also kind of talk about the future of the Longhorns here too, because there's some things that were clear and moving forward. But any more game focused stuff?
I didn't have a chance to obviously review this, but Clark improved on pass pro a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped up in that early play, and he stepped up and met that linebacker, and I was like, "Ooh, that's what I was terrified of."
Yep.
Yeah, he had been somewhat disastrous, albeit in limited snaps throughout the year in pass pro when he was put in pass pro. Someone coached him up a little bit on that. So that was encouraging to see because you really want to see running backs stepping up to meet the linebacker, not receiving the blitz. And, the rules for pass pro and running back are not complicated. It's inside out 97% of the time. So that was encouraging. The pressure inside, it was withering at times, and we know the culprits. We've got to upgrade that part because, guys, you'll be shocked how much better Arch Manning is. He can actually sit in a pocket and not have to elude people and
have people in his face every game.
I love Arch running, but the Vanilla Vince act, let's also do the more Arch Manning type stuff as well.
Yeah, because another special trait of his is that he can actually progression.
Reach,
like he can actually full field scan. And Ian was talked about this very early in non-con that he was struggling. Arch was struggling with single reads. That's where he was getting inaccurate. But for some reason, when Arch had to scan to his 4th read, which is the opposite of how young college quarterbacks normally are, he would get there. And it's true. Arch still struggles with the single read mesh or the single read RPO. But as soon as he has to take in all available information, that's somehow wherever he's super accurate. But let's take advantage of that because not a lot of college quarterbacks have that skill set. And if they do, they're 5th-year guys. So, yeah, if we can actually let him pick guys apart, and then if it's not there, take off and run, that's when you're really, really going to activate.
Yep. And then also with Clark as well, he played so well today that we didn't see Michael Terry play much today. We didn't see Simon play pretty much at all either. I mean, he played so well today that there was no running back by committee. It was the Ryan Clark show today.
That's an excellent point.
Not the Ryan Clark, the Christian Clark show.
That's an excellent point. I have a sense that they had hey, Christian, let's try to get him. He'll start off. He's going to get 12 carries. Let's get Terry 6. Let's get Simon in. Once he was playing well, they're like, we're not messing.
Yep.
You're good.
Pump the brakes. He's good.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to hear that Simon got dropped, in the not on the official depth chart, but in the intel that Eric dropped, that it was actually Clark, Terry, then Simon. I wouldn't have expected that at all. So
me neither.
I don't know what's going on there. I asked Eric, do I read into this as a portal? And he was like, no, that's premature. So, but I was just, with all the running backs coming
the
in.
truth is that information proved right. Clark just is playing better.
Yeah, he is. But it was Terry. It was Terry jumping Simon that was confusing. So
I think they just like the big back.
And Terry gives you that, he's a special athlete. What could he do out there?
Yeah.
So there's that intrigue.
X factor. Yeah.
There's that intrigue there. I remember he caught a spring practice rep because Texas only lets you use 2 minutes of what you film at those availabilities. So I just get 20 minutes of clips that I can only show 2 minutes of. And one of them was Terry in the slot running a post. That dude is fast. And I was really, really impressed with him. So I was intrigued by him as well. Not a lot of niblet, though. I thought we were going to see a lot of niblet to the flats, gadgety stuff, and we just didn't see a lot of that. Which turns out when you have a functioning running back, you don't need to do a bunch of cute stuff. And so, yeah, I thought seeing Clark was awesome. He can battle with whoever we bring in, but I do feel far more solid about at least knowing that Clark can do it because Michigan's no slouch. They're a good run defense too. So. And they were only missing 2 players. They still had their core functioning run defense. So that was big. Average third down distance for Michigan was 9.3. What did we end up with sacks? I didn't really
see. Sacks, we had a total of 3. 3 sacks. 1 by Colin, 1 by Zena, and 1 by Barnes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember each one of those. Didn't feel like a crazy sack game. They had
pressure, though.
It says Michigan had 0 sacks. Is that true?
I don't recall Arch getting sacked.
No,
Arch
has really developed pretty well. There should have been several sacks, but he got the ball out, or he avoided a guy, or ran through a tackle. But yeah, we just got to get a better protection because I think when you put 41 on the board and Arch plays that well, there's a larger sense of we're good, and it's man, we're not good. You got to break down some of those plays and realize Arch did some pretty awesome stuff to keep the play alive. So
yeah, we'll do the all 22 this next week, and really
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Arch, he was amazing. We need some interior offensive linemen in the worst way. 3 to 4. Yes, you got to get 3 in the portal plus a swing tackle probably just in case, man. But man, we need some interior offensive linemen because we can't waste this last year with Arch. And not just the last year to Arch. You can't waste this last year with Colin Simmons too. I mean, you got, probably 2 top 10 picks in the draft next year once they come out. And if Texas can't get into the playoffs and do something big with those 2 guys in that team, man, something's wrong with us. All right. So we got to protect Arch. He has to be protected at all costs. Get us some interior offensive linemen, and we got to get him some better, skill talent, man. Get him some wide receivers that can catch the ball. Some guys that don't mind getting up there and getting dirty with it. And get us another running back too as well, man. 1 running back, maybe 2, right? So stuff has to happen for this team, man.
Quentin says last year, you're assuming. No, man, there's a bunch of NFL draft guys that want him to come out right now. They're like, come on, man, you can do it.
This is an incredibly weak draft.
Yeah, they're
speaking out.
I replied to one of them. I think it was Ted Wynn or something, but he was like, Arch declare, and I was like, nope, we need him for another year. But it's
1 more year, baby.
Because those guys in the NFL, that pocket ability, that's everything to the NFL guys moving in the pocket. And so when they see those reps, they're like, he can come out now. So I'm glad we get 1 more year.
Yeah, he made a bunch of big time throws today too, man. Some NFL throws today too, man. That one to Lockett was perfect.
We had a really nice one to Dalen, but Dalen dropped it. But it looked like a wheel or something on the line. He had another dot. But theme.
Nice.
I thought McCutcheon had a rough show. And it wasn't even so much of bad play. It's just he was getting hit a lot. He was getting popped by dudes. And then the dropping. I just didn't. I need to see McCutcheon's kind of coming out party because he's so young, but we hear so much positive stuff and intel. I just need to see that spark from McCutcheon. We won't see it till next year, obviously, but I just remember, hey, that's kind of tough because I think he was targeted. This says targeted 4 times with a 25% catch rate. So just didn't get to see a ton of him. I just want to see what the intel's about on him. Arch's on a different development curve. His growth has been exponential since his first game against Ohio State.
Exactly.
Well, I'd say a little after that.
I mean, it's fits and starts, right? It's not ever going to be a straight line.
Really, to me, the moment, like everything past UTEP, because like UTEP was like game 4, Ohio State.
Oh, that was horrible.
It was really
game 3.
Florida. The moment was Florida. Even though we lost that game, watching the All-22 is like, that's when you're like, oh, Arch is getting it. Like he was sacked a billion times, but he still made so many like pocket mobility NFL plays in Florida. That's the one where I was like, he's really getting it now against better competition. And then since then, he's looked like a different quarterback. But earlier in the season, Arch, you were killing us, man. You're making us have conversations like, dude, if you keep having the yips, you're gonna have to get benched, dude. Like you're not playable.
Come here, Caldwell.
Yeah. So he pulled out of it, luckily, because that's what was so frustrating. Because he would make an NFL throw and then yips. So it wasn't his ability; it was just what's going on psychologically. But I don't doubt his mental right now, dude. He's intense on the sidelines and all of that.
Yeah, he flipped the switch, man.
Yeah, he's going to be really special. Pieces. Injuries had a touchdown, right?
Yeah, Andrews had that nice touchdown by Arch with the nice little floater. That was a pretty pass, man.
Yeah. I don't know what you do if you're injuries.
He's got to come back for one more year. I don't think he has enough on film to.
I mean, I agree. I want injuries back.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, he had to have been so bummed. He thought he was coming in to Gunnar Helm this thing, and then this year just went absolutely wild on him.
Well, he caught 5 balls and a touchdown, so
he's
not leaving this game feeling terrible about. And he saw what Arch did, so I think he can see a world where he's a much more active role in the passing game, and that he's not having to stay in the block because the offensive line's a disaster. So I think there's a decent discussion to have with him. I wouldn't go pro if I was him. I mean, I would transfer out to another school that's going to feature you. Maybe go to Indiana.
That's really my argument. I just didn't want to say it. That I was like, it wouldn't be the NFL, but it's like, would you portal to somewhere? Would you portal to somewhere that you would guarantee?
Yeah, he almost went to Indiana with Mendoza, his Cal teammate.
Yeah, that's got to be a bit of a bummer. But
the Heisman winner.
Yeah. Well, he's in a 2-year plan now instead of the 1-year plan.
That's right.
He could have been the 1-year plan in Indiana. He's in a 2-year plan here in Texas. He'll have a much better season next year, man. Just stay in. I think he sees at the, like these last 4 or 5 games, you've seen how Arch has been able just to kind of be himself now. He's seen in the bowl game now too as well. He knows his team's going to get better. He knows Sark's all in. Anybody that's watching Sark's press conference knows Sark is all in for 26. He's talking about, like the spending habits that had to happen for the team, how much, players are getting paid and how much he doesn't want players to get paid this much. He knows exactly what he needs to do for 2026. Sark's going to do it. He's going to go out and get the necessary pieces. Texas fans just need to realize that he might not get the flashiest pieces that everybody wants when it comes to certain positions because there is like a quote-unquote salary cap thing going on, right? But he's going to get the necessary pieces to make Arch look good and to make this team look good, man. So I got all confidence in that here for 26. I think he's going for broke this year.
How do you feel about the season, man? Because we know with all the flaws and all, but if 10 is the floor, when really it was looking like you could end up with 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah.
I'm still disappointed with how the season went, but it's like it's still fairly impressive that it's like 10 wins after that, man. Like how dysfunctional we were. To end up with 10 wins, man, it could have gone the other way. So if that's the floor,
it's bittersweet, man, because we know what one less loss. We're in the playoffs, and I'm not saying that we would win the thing, but I don't think anybody in the playoffs right now is just a great team. I think we got a lot of good teams, right? But that's what NIL has done, right? So NIL has leveled the playing field to where there are a lot of teams that are very good. There are no more days of Nick Saban hoarding 5 stars at every position 4 deep because, only a few teams are willing to take it there, right? Now that it's legal, everybody's willing to do something, and that's why you get like a Pavia at Vanderbilt, right? That's why it's so level, right? So there's no great teams. There's a lot of really good teams. I think if Texas is in the playoffs this year, It'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting, especially the way that Arch is playing right now. I still think we don't win it because our line just isn't up there, but it's still interesting. You just never know. But bittersweet season. This team should have done a lot more. But after watching the team those first 3 or 4 weeks, we understand why they didn't get to where they need to be.
Well, if you would have told me 10 wins after UTAP, I'd have been like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, man. I was saying 7 wins, 8 tops.
Yeah.
That was me. I was like 7-5, 8-4 at best.
Yeah.
All right. And they shut me up.
Ultimately what this was a pretty encouraging spring game.
Yep.
Because we've been deprived of spring games. So don't watch the seniors. They're gone. Good luck to you. The opt-outs opted out. Go watch all those young guys, and they got a chance to go in a real game against a real opponent where it actually got chippy and like fired up, right? And they were like had to play, and you could say there's not playoffs at hand and all that, but there are real stakes within that game of like the players, like everyone was trying their hardest at the end in that second half. And I think you just got to view this as an early spring game. And I saw some encouraging thing from those young guys. I promise you, Will Muschamp on the sideline was like taking notes, and he's happy about some stuff. And I think he's unhappy about some other stuff. But the stuff he's unhappy about, I think he can fix.
He can fix
pretty
it
quickly. So I think that's how I take this. Now, some of the solutions are not on this campus right now. January 2nd at midnight, a lot of stuff's going to go down. So go to Inside Texas, set your watch.
Yep. Lockett might be a real vertical threat. I think he will be, man. That's what he did in high school. I'm obsessed with the contested catch guy. That's my ideal wide receiver. Is a guy with good body control and that can go up there and get it. And Lockett has that. So that's why I've been most excited out of the freshman class to watch him.
I like him a lot.
I think Drew makes a good point. Arch's development moved us from 7 to 10 wins. Yeah.
That's a very true statement.
Yeah.
It's Drew Kelson. What's going on, man?
Yeah. And that's why the yips part was scary early. And to just have that offensive success and Clark ran well today, but virtually no running game for the season and still be able to have significant explosive output. Very rare. Here we go, Quentin. I only saw the first sentence here.
What did Quentin say?
Our last natty, we beat Michigan the
There it
previous
is.
bowl game. We played OSU early the next.
The quarterback went off. And the defense didn't play great in that game, so you had to outscore them. And yeah, I there's some of those vibes. It's true.
What are you trying to say, Quentin?
Yeah. So I saw the first sentence. I was like, "Here we go." Quentin.
Here we go.
So I was at that Rose Bowl game, sitting midfield, dead center. I mean, awesome seats. And went with the guy, awesome guy, who gave me the tickets to go with him. And I'm sitting next to a bunch of Michigan fans who are clearly like top dollar guys who go everywhere and travel everywhere. That like they're older retired guys that are rich and they just follow the team for fun. And so we were talking, and at the end of that game, they said, "We've never seen a college football player like Vince Young. You guys are going to win it all." And we were kind of like, maybe we'll see. Yeah, that was awesome. That was incredible. So, if any of you guys were at that game, if some Michigan fan turned to you and said about Arch Manning, let us know.
I'll say Quentin's clearly unbiased, so we have to trust him.
That's right. You got to trust.
How about Hero put on a blocking clinic on Underwood whenever it was him right on the interception where he.
Why is that a personal foul?
I don't know a personal foul, but it wasn't. It was just hilarious. He stood there like and dropped his feet and then shoved it, and then he stood there like this after it was. Like,
why is that a personal foul?
It was like 19. I know, and the play was live. He could have easily tried to tackle the ball carrier. It's a personal foul because it was a quarterback.
It's a quarterback, yeah.
But why is that a personal foul?
That's what I was telling my wife.
So the blindside blocks that got called on us and Michigan drove me nuts. I'm like, dude, if you're near the ball, it's like boxing. Protect yourself at all times. Like, dude, and it's like, I understand getting hit straight in the back.
But he got hit in the shoulder. I mean,
if you get hit in the side, pay attention, man. Like, you're running around the ball. So it's football. You know someone's going to hit you. I don't like the blindside block thing. If they hit you square in the back, that's different. But if they hit you anywhere in your technical vision, it's like, yeah, dude, that can happen in a mosh pit near the football. But yeah, Hero just cracked me up because it looked like Paul, like a 1960s clinic offensive line teach tape where they're like, keep your feet moving and drive like
Okay,
that.
fellas.
And so he just cracked me up, dude. Canute's funny every time I hear him.
Did you see
I know.
Quentin's bet?
Yeah,
What
I
do you
see it.
bet?
I bet a dude at the Barber 250 we win the Natty. He's an OU fan.
Quentin, I hope you got odds, dude. I hope you got 10-1, 12-1.
No,
Right?
he's just straight up. He has that
You just
confidence.
straight up bet him.
He lives in OKC too, I think, right?
You got to be like the insane guy that tattoos it on his arm before the season even starts. There's an A&M guy that did that, by the way, this year. It was on
Also,
TikTok.
Quentin, you bet an OU fan, and that's generally a broke ass fan base. So even if we win, I don't know if you're gonna get paid, dude.
You ain't get paid.
You might get free haircuts.
I would just say I'll take it in haircuts if you can't do that. But yeah, it was really funny. People hating on Pavia here. Yeah, protect yourself at all times used to be the mantra. It's just like, come on, man. What are we doing? And technically, I thought it was fair too when he hit Underwood, but
it wasn't a penalty because guess what? If he doesn't block him and he goes against the tackle, he's on film the next week by the coach. Say, why didn't you hit the dude?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but Canoe also of multiple people ran right to Underwood.
They must have been chipping all game
passed
though.
up some other blocking opportunities to go do that, and so but they were getting chippy, and Underwood was talking, and that's what fired up the whole thing. But even the one that Arch got roughed on, that was more just because Arch hit his head and it looked bad, but the defender just wrapped him up. It's not his fault that Arch's head hit weird. They're just super sensitive with quarterbacks, man.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. He was limping the drive before and still ran for 60 on him.
Yep.
He almost paid for it at the end there, but yeah, it's just a fun way to close out the season. It's been a frustrating football season. I've only been on this channel we've only had this channel for 2 years. I've been doing it for 5, but this was the most kind of hair pulley season. And I started with 5 and 7, Sark. But this one was really frustrating, but it ended on really good notes. You know, you have the Arkansas to A&M to this. So it was a really good way to end it when that middle was scary for a long time.
Connor, I was writing about Texas football from 2010 to 2021. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You had to write. I started
dial in for you right now.
Man, you had the end of the back years, the Charlie
2010
years.
is when I went to college, and I had been watching Texas and just being like, it's guaranteed. Like, Texas wins, baby. Like, I had the whole Mac. It was only Mac in my head. And I remember us being so confused at like Kane and Abel's after and just being like, how did the Texas Longhorns lose? I just doesn't even make it. Well, we'll get it. We'll get it next year. And we just went to hell for a decade.
Went to hell for a while, man.
Yeah,
man. I graduated like in 05. So, you know, I graduated.
You were in school with all the championship guys.
Yeah, man. I was the RA for the football players. That's the crazy thing. So, like, you know, I know all these guys. And so
you were the RA?
I was RA for all
He's
the
got
football
some
players.
stories.
So you were the dude that had to be like, guys, you're being a little loud.
No, man. We had a lot of fun.
It was probably running interference. He was
man. I was a frat boy
on
too.
their
We were
behalf.
all doing the same thing. We had a lot of fun. So-
Nick has some fun stories he will tell you off air about that.
I am looking forward to those stories, Nick.
Yeah,
I'm holding you to that.
Yeah, he got it. He got to hang out when they were at the height of everything.
I mean, I used to get like chauffeured into all the parties with them the whole night when like I had parties and stuff at the you know like with the frat. Used to have them come over. We used to we had a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun. I say
Yeah.
So I just had a phone call with one of those guys last week. We were talking about how much fun we had for about an hour and a half. So, good times, man.
I did not have that experience. It would just be. You'd see the football players on campus and they would have their heads down. They did not have the confident athlete vibe.
No,
they were all like, please don't ask me about Saturday. Please don't ask me about Saturday. So it was very different. But now 10 wins feels a lot better than 9 wins. I don't got much more to say, guys. I want to go get this post game uploaded on the channel for you guys. And then I want to go to my in-laws and celebrate New Year's Eve.
Are you going to watch Dick Clark's Rocket in the New Year?
I know. Whenever they advertised that, I was like, "Who is that?"
Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, I was like, "Who is that?" You got to be 70 plus to be like, "Cannot wait to watch that."
I think that guy's long dead, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I was like, "Who's this for? Who's this for? What age group is this for?"
Yeah. You gotta watch Miami. Hey
Oh
man,
yeah, well,
Ohio
You got to
State,
watch
Miami.
Ohio State have a 7-3 first half.
you see how cheap
Might be a
the
7-3
tickets-
game.
I thought the ticket you could get like some tickets for like $50, and I was like,
Well,
I might
Miami
go
doesn't
to-
have any fans.
I know. I was like,
Yeah,
I might
that's
go up
crazy.
to Arlington for $50, but decided not to. But those tickets were really cheap. Turns out when you make people from Ohio and Michigan travel to Texas, it doesn't travel as well. Guys, I want to see you over on Inside Texas, 50% off Ultimate Fan Bundle. Inside Texas, yours truly on 3 plus rivals. Love to see you over there. Everyone have an awesome night. Celebrate, have a great time, but celebrate responsibly. Everyone drive safe. You know to do the right things. This was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hook 'em. 10 wins, baby. Later.